A typical question in the CIE examinations will require you to find a term in a binomial expansion. In this current example, I would like us to find the coefficient of x to the power of 6 in the expansion of 1 minus 2x to the power of 10, and such a question is usually for 3 marks. One way is to list all the terms up to the term of interest, but this seems to be too much work just for 3 marks. The binomial theorem comes to the rescue in this case. Now let us consider the binomial theorem. The general theorem is given by this expression here. You will notice that it is given by a plus b to the power of n. As we move from left to right, the powers of a decrease from n to 0, while the powers of b will increase from 0 to n. You can see here it's n, and then it goes down by 1 to n minus 1, and it also goes down by 1 to n minus 2, a further 1 to n minus 3. Now, in this particular example, a is going to be equal to 1, and b is going to be equal to negative 2x, while n is equal to 10. The expansion is going to be found by combining 1 and negative 2x. And there is 10 brackets that we are having to choose from. Now in the question we want x to be raised to the power of 6, so I'm going to go ahead and see that as we've already alluded to the fact that b is equal to 2x, this power here has got to be equal to 6. Now one other consideration on the binomial theorem is that the power of b is also the value of r in the NCR form. So here it's 1, so that there the r is also equal to 1, so 6 has got to be inserted here. Further considerations show that the sum of the two powers has got to equal to n, so n plus 0 is going to be equal to n minus 1 plus 1 is going to equal to n. So in this case here we want to say this 6 plus the power of 1 should give us n, and our n in this case is equal to 10. So the value that needs to be inserted here is going to be equal to 4. Now this is downhill from here. We just need to find what 10 choose 6 is going to be equal to. So 10 choose 6 is equal to 210. So 210 for 10 choose 6. You will notice that here we are raising this negative to the power of an even number, so our answer is going to be equal to a positive number. If this was an odd number, then your answer will be negative. So let's go ahead and calculate the value of 2 to the power of 6, and that is going to give us 64. So 64x to the power of 6. Be careful, the 2 has got to be raised to the power of 6 as well as the x. Now let's find the product of the 2. So 64 multiplied by 210 will give us 13,440. So 13,440 x to the power of 6. Now we haven't finished here. We are required to find what the coefficient is equal to. So I have to write in the next line that the coefficient of x to the power of 6 is going to be equal to this number here. The number before the variable is your coefficient, so 13,440. Another typical example will require us to find a term independent of x in the expansion of, say, x plus 2 over x, and that is raised to the power of 6. So the question will be to find the term independent of x. I'm going to encourage you to pause the video at this point so that you can attempt the question on your own, and then you can come and compare your solution to mine. Okay, welcome back. You'll notice here that our n is now going to be equal to 6. So I will write 6 choose. We are combining these two terms here, so one bracket is going to contain x and the other bracket is going to contain 2 over x. Okay, 2 over x. Now I want the term to be independent of x. It means that x has got to be to the power of 0. And each time I'm combining these, the x in the denominator here is cancelling out with the x at the top here. And there will be no x term if the power of the numerator, this x here, is the same as the power of this x in the denominator. And this is going to happen if we raise this to the power of 3, and as discussed previously, it means that I'm choosing 3 from the 6 brackets, and so the sum of this 3 and the power of this x must be equal to 6, so I'll have to put a 3 here. Again, let's grab our calculator and find what 6 choose 3 is going to be equal to. 6 choose 3 is going to be equal to 20. So that'll be equal to 20 multiplied by x to the power of 3, and 2 to the power of 3 is 8 divided by x to the power of 3, which is also going to be equal to x cubed. Now you can see that these will cancel out, and at the end of the day we're going to have 160. 20 times 8 is going to be 160. So this is the term which is independent of x. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next tutorial.